Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Bison won the championship game day after. It's going to be a rough day for a lot of
Yeah,
Bison
a lot of
fans,
people. It's going to be a rough day
sure.
for. Yep.
Lisa, Dillon here with you. Of course, it is Tuesday, January 7th today. We'll get to the forecast in just a moment because Dillon has good news in it. But first, I want to remind you, of course, we're live on Facebook every weekday morning, right around the same time. It stays on your feed throughout the day, so you can watch it whenever it works best for you. Plus, we make it into a podcast. You can find that at inform.com/podcast. Just look for the Inform Minute. So, cold today, not as cold, and we're going in the right direction.
Yes, today we'll go to the single digits above, which, doesn't seem like a lot. We're getting there, Tomorrow, teens for highs, so getting a little better. And then tomorrow night into Thursday, I do see some light snow moving through. Okay. Not going to be much. Accumulation should be an inch or less, something like that. An inch or so is probably a better way to put it. And then warming up, we'll stay warm, upper 20s Thursday, 20s Friday. Next chance of snow comes Saturday, but we'll stay warm, 20s and teens Saturday, Sunday. So that's
going to feel
nice.
so nice, like a heat wave.
Yeah, and then guess what?
It won't last.
Yeah, it gets cold again.
It is still January.
Exactly. So yeah, it's January. It's going to get cold again early next week, but that cold snap isn't expected to last super long. So that's good news on that front, I guess. But before we forget about the bad news. Let's just talk about the good news, and that's warmer weather already by Thursday.
Yeah, nice couple of days. And a little bit of light snow. It's been a while since we've had any snow.
Yep, haven't had snow yet in the new year. And going back to the end of December, we melted all the snow. Remember about Christmas? It was really warm. We had all those days of fog due to the warm air on top of us. And we haven't had snow in a while. So it'll be nice to see things more like winter-like again. Maybe, possibly.
Well, you know what? Yes, you winter enthusiasts, those snowmobilers, cross-country skiers, they want more snow.
Yeah, and there's none. There's there is some, but there's no good snow, out there.
I always feel like it's going to be cold, we might as well have snow.
Exactly. That's where I'm at too. I'm a skier, and I like some winter activities. Snowmobiles. The sleds haven't gotten out in a few years. Last year there wasn't enough snow for it. This year there hasn't been enough snow for it. So hopefully this inch of snow we're supposed to get this week isn't going to help. But we need a big storm, whether you like it or not. A lot of people are out there begging for it. So
a snow day.
A snow day.
It's nice every once in a while.
Exactly.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Dillon.
Yep.
Well, big story today, of course. The Bison are celebrating their 10th FCS National Championship this morning. And DSU held off the #1 seed Montana State in a classic down in Frisco. Final score 35-32. The win marks the Bison's 10th championship in 14 years. And it's a fitting end to an era. The FCS title game will move to Nashville for the next 2 years. What will Frisco do without Bison fans? Tim Polasek wins the championship in his first year as the Bison head coach, and senior quarterback Cam Miller was named MVP. Very deserving. Today, the trial will start for a Grand Forks man accused of shooting someone on a basketball court. According to court documents, 24-year-old Alan Little shot another man over an argument during a game at the Abbott Sports Complex near the Purpura Arena. Witnesses say Little and another man got into an argument that turned physical. They say Little pulled out a gun and shot the other man. The victim survived. The trial also begins today for a Fargo woman accused of running over 3 people outside a nightclub in Fargo. Witnesses say 25-year-old Princess Guay was involved in an argument and brawl outside the Cairo restaurant and bar on 45th Street in Fargo last February. Guay is then accused of driving into a crowd of people in the parking lot. Her attorney argues that there were other people in the vehicle with Guay, so prosecutors can't prove that she was driving. Guay's attorney also argued that she was just trying to escape from the crowd that had attacked her. Today, North Dakota's 69th legislative session begins. The session lasts 80 days every 2 years. This session, Republicans outnumbered Democrats 42-5 in the Senate and 83-11 in the House. The session will begin this afternoon with Governor Kelly Armstrong's State of the State address. That speech will be live streamed on the governor's website at 1:30. If you haven't taken down your holiday decorations just yet and you plan on getting rid of all those lights that have broken bulbs, well, don't throw them away. You can actually recycle them for a good cause. CW Companies out of Minnesota is holding a campaign called Holiday Lights for Hunger. They want to recycle your unwanted holiday lights, and then they use the proceeds to give back to the Great Plains Food Bank. They say it's a unique way to support your community through something that you were just going to get rid of anyway. You could drop them off at select Menards and Fleet Farm locations now until January 26th. You can find a list of locations at holidaylightsforhunger.com. Today, the body of late President Jimmy Carter will arrive in Washington, D.C. to lie in state ahead of his state funeral. His coffin will be moved from the Carter Center in Atlanta to the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. The public will get a chance to view his coffin at the Capitol starting tonight. Will run through 7 Thursday morning. That's when he will have a state funeral at the Washington National Cathedral. Prosecutors and the defense team right now are requesting more time to prepare for the trial of a man accused of shooting and killing the CEO of Minnesota-based United Healthcare. Of course, a big story that we continue to cover for you. The two sides agreed to delay the deadline to bring an indictment against Luigi Mangione in federal court from January 18th to February 17th. Mangione is accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on December 4th in downtown Manhattan. He was captured in Pennsylvania 5 days after that massive manhunt. He faces federal and state murder charges. He pleaded not guilty to the state charges, but he's not required to enter a plea in federal court until an indictment is returned. Remember, Hot Mic with Don Izzo is coming up 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inforum.com. Of course, Dom's going to be talking all things Bison. Of course, he's going to break down the big win in Frisco. He has lots to talk about. That's happening from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra. And our next newscast is coming up at 11 this morning, 11, and then we have you covered starting this afternoon at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with more First News. Have a great day, everyone.